Yeah, back once again, Trey, with another Fish Out of Water request reaction. I appreciate y'all being here with me, but you know what we here for, the music. Let's get to it.
The boys go out. The boys go out. Look, look. Oh, you ain't gonna say it back cause you know I'm in the mood. But I see how it goes. Step brothers. Step brothers. Yeah, brothers. For life. Lead off. Twice a week we was going cross state to Memphis. And bro brought me that cross-face crippler. Said y'all should do some music, y'all can make a difference. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't different. And yo guy that called me, said he was thinking about signing him. Asked me if I had ever heard of him and say he reminded him of me. I ain't know how to take that. Wonder what made him say that. I jumped in the car like, where that tape at? Right then I replayed that. Pulled up to the studio, and Mo was watching ESG TV on the computer screen. And all I could say was, dude, called. Yeah. He the truth though. One take with the flip camera in the booth, and every beat he got a new flow. I knew his influence would grow. He shared a letter to his son with us, and he let us peek into his soul. Prior to Step Brothers 1, never knew we'd be doing 4. At least I know who he do it for. His 4 plus 4 little ones. Yeah, that's all he rap about. 2010, me and Red died. The left chord came down to record for the Human Torch. We was at the trap house. Fast forward, now we performing nationwide tours in front of a packed house. We did it ourselves if you ask how. Split down the middle and cash out. Step Brothers for life.
Split it down the middle and cash out. We did it ourselves.
What part of town you from? East Memphis. You're from East Memphis. You're from East Nashville. Yeah. And so is that the origin of how this thing came together? How did the Step Brothers come together? This whole idea. For life.
I was in my living studio with my brother Jay Fitz. While I was in between records, he tried to hand me a disc. He like, listen to this. Like Brian Sis. I'm like, man, I heard all these niggas. I'm never convinced. Then he threw that shit in. I took it back out the deck. I wouldn't admit it back then, but I was rather impressed. This is back when I considered every rapper as food. I knew this nigga was sick. He needed alphabet soup. I'm on the road with Yo Got It. He made a stop in the Ville. He said, you gotta meet Star. I'm like, what's the big deal? So I went to the spot to really see how he live. Enough guns in that motherfucker to beef a career. I'm like, these niggas crazy. These niggas ill. They got AKs under blankets like a nigga can't see them. Then they walk
AKs under blankets like a nigga can't see that shit. I can see it.
First day I met Star, he got me paid for a verse. That was the realest shit ever.
That's real, for real.
I will never forget it. He couldn't have known I was broke. I needed that like a kidney. He was cooler than I thought, but I was still indifferent until his homeboy Ed came through with that Princess chicken. And ever since then, me and Jermaine been on the mission. 3 studio sessions and Step Brothers 1 was finished. We was out in LA. I had just signed with Cool and Dre. They told me it was a really bad idea to drop that tape. I'm like, alright, cool, whatever you say. I hung up that phone and we dropped that tape the same day. And history was made against everyone's advice. We bet the house on each other and rolled the dice. Step Brothers for life. Step Brothers for life. Yeah. And then history was made against everyone's advice. We bet the house on each other and rolled the dice. Step Brothers for life. Step Brothers for life. Step Brothers.
We met late 2010. We actually met through Yo Got It. Each on the road doing some things with him. Yeah. And we landed in the studio together. And I mean, the short form is the rest is history. But we came up with an idea for a concept tape, and never really dreamt that it would chart as an album, part 2 and part 3. But we just kept it going. We just kept it going. We just kept it going. We just kept it going.
They do have Step Brothers for Life documentary on both their YouTube channels. I know for sure one is on Starlito YouTube channel, so I kind of knew the story already. But I'm glad Don Tripp is not respectful to Cool and Dre and still dropped the tape. And I'm glad that you did, because you saw how Cool and when Don Tripp was on the podcast with some ex NFL players. I think they from Tennessee. I can't think of the name of their podcast, but they had Don Tripp and Starlito on there. And when Don Tripp said they was more focused on another artist more than him, and they let Don Tripp slip through their hands, and he didn't listen to them and dropped the Step Brothers project with Starlito just independently. Y'all made a whole brand and a legacy that you can live off for the rest of y'all life. Literally, Step Brothers for life. They can tour off the Step Brothers discography alone, let alone their own individual discographies. They can tour off a Step Brothers discography alone for the rest of their life.